All right, we're gonna take a trip from South Saint Augustine, Anastasia Island to Orlando on self-driving. We'll see how we do. It doesn't pull back very far. Like it's got way more room and it always kind of like wants to turn around quicker. It's fine, I guess, but very cautious. So it will stop for the gate and then continue on automatically when the gate opens, which is a pretty cool update. Now, there's a cyclist here on the left trying to cross. I wonder if the car will stop or not. Probably not. It actually is. It's trying to stop for the cyclist to let them go, which is interesting because it's not exactly required. Is it going to let this car go too? I guess it is. All right, whatever. Of course, he's turning left. Oh, no, he turned right. Okay. I did press the gas just to force it out of that intersection quicker, but I didn't touch the wheel or anything. You could do that. You're like, no, dude, go. Just hit the gas. It'll go. And I wish my car had not let this guy pull out in front of me. She's going 34 and a 45, and that is pretty annoying. I might have to take control to pass because this is nuts. 28. Seriously unnecessary, guys. Back in. Thank God they're not turning in front of me. I did decide to take over for the parking because I like to control what spot it goes to, and sometimes it just wants to park in weird places that I don't want it to go. Run into the store. I'll be right back. All right. Ready, go. Good car.
Hi, you've reached Justin Napoli. Sorry I couldn't get to my.
Well, I prefer dark mode, but I think light mode is a little easier on the camera. Yeah. That's another thing. People talk about, I mean, I feel like I've heard people talk about not, but they don't like the fact that you can't just set like a speed. But you kind of can. I just went from standard to chill, right? And it slowed all the way down from 80 to like 72. And then I pressed the gas slowly until it crept up to 75. And then I let off the gas and it's holding at 75. And it switched itself back from chill to standard. So by me pressing the gas, it changed the mode. But it's holding at 75, which is where I put it. Um, Obviously, we're still in FSD, so it will speed up or slow down. It's not locked in to 75, but it has an understanding, I guess, that I want to go 75, and it's doing that. Let's go. Let's see if we can do the same thing at 76. I'm slowly pressing 76, and I let up. Okay, we went back down to 75. Maybe it holds at like 5 mph intervals. Let's try this again. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's intervals of 5. I mean, that would make sense. But it definitely did that. All right, so the car is getting over automatically for the emergency vehicle. Right up here on the right is a police officer. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, all right. I don't know what the hell that was about. Okay, so it got over. Awesome. This guy in this lane, I don't know. I don't. My car freaked out a little bit. Braked hard. Looked like it was trying to get back over. I was so close to disengaging, but I felt it was stopping, so I let it, and it corrected. So that was not a disengagement, but great that it got over ahead of time. Not great that it tried to almost swerve back into that lane again. I'm telling you one thing. This is the way to do it. This is the way to this is the way to do it, you guys. I'm not I'm not thinking about lane centering. I'm not thinking about the car behind me because I'm one of those drivers that's like really aware of what's happening behind me, and I want to make sure I'm out of the way if somebody's coming faster and all that kind of neurotic stuff. But I'm not thinking about any of that because this car will get out of the way. I got it set at a nice speed. If I was driving, I would be going 80 most likely. That's just sort of my thing, I guess, 10 miles over. But I'm more comfortable with the car doing 75 so that other people are going faster, just so that there's zero chance that I get pulled over. That's just the last thing I want. And when you're not driving, physically driving, I don't know. I feel like I just don't feel the same rush. I just don't feel the same need to get there as quickly as possible. I'm just sort of a passenger and supervisor. You know, this is great. I I don't think I could ever go back to a car that doesn't have this minimum level of technology in it. And I drive myself all the time. I am not 100% FSD guy. I think that's possible to look that up somewhere. I don't know exactly where. But normally when I'm just in town and cruising up to the drugstore, the convenience store, whatever, I'm driving the car like normal. But this is really nice on a trip like this, especially. And another thing that I feel like it's important to point out, because I just don't hear enough people bringing this up. But if you have a Tesla and you don't have FSD and you use, autopilot on a highway like this, and the car doesn't do the best job, maybe it bounces in between lanes or, bounces in between the lines a little bit. It doesn't stay perfectly centered. It's just I don't know. I don't actually I've never used that one, but I've seen people talk about it. It's not compared to this, it's not that great. And I think that that's a that's a disservice to Tesla. Tesla would be smart to just let everyone have it, honestly. Bake it into the price of the car and release it to the wild because they need more believers. They need more people to see what it does and understand. I cannot tell you how many times I've had a conversation with someone and we'll be talking about the driver assistance technologies in the cars and people that have other cars, like maybe an Escalade or some other GM vehicle, or they have a Ford and they have that Blue Cruise, and they all think it's the same thing. They all think that their vehicles do what an FSD enabled Tesla will do, and none of them do. None of those vehicles can do what this vehicle does right now on city streets with unprotected left turns and all the stop signs and the roundabouts and just doing the entire route for you. And it's just kind of a shame because I think that it really is a marketing issue. Tesla famously does not do traditional marketing, right? They don't have any commercials for Tesla cars out there. Um, and that's just nuts to me. Nuts. Like how is no one talking about that on MSNBC or whatever the channel they do the finance stuff is? CNBC, one of those. CNBC, right? Yeah. I'm just saying, why don't we talk about that more? When they talk about Tesla's, disappointing earnings or whatever, why does nobody ever say, um, yeah, it's insane that they don't have any commercials. Nobody would buy Kleenex if, Kleenex didn't have commercials, Kimberly Clark, whatever. Okay, that was a stupid example. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get my point. People can't buy it if they don't know what it is. They don't know if it exists. That was a nice auto lane change, auto pass maneuver back into the second lane, which I guess is lane number two, right? Don't they start from the left in the inbound lane to go one, two? Oh man, I'm tired.
Down tempo. Chill.
Now, I kind of wish it was in the right lane right now, if I'm being honest, because we're going a little bit slower. I'm going to get over. There's someone actually passing me on the right, so I'm going to get over now. By pressing the blinker, the car should then fall in behind the truck, and it does. And I'm going to drop me down to some chill because I'm just not in a hurry. And I just want to chill. So the car drops me down to 72. So I lose 3 mph right now, which is fine. This is what I mean. I'm normally a very aggressive driver. When I'm driving the car, I want to get there. And I see every car on the road in front of me as an obstacle to get between me and where I want to go. You know what I mean? But when the car is doing the driving, you just sit back and you relax and you just chill. And you don't care that everyone's driving passing you on the left. I think 72 and 70, if you're in the far right lane, is acceptable. As long as I stay over. There's no sin here. And I do sometimes keep an eye out. Whoa, we just braked a little bit hard, but not really. Just kind of took me by surprise. I was going to say I'm aware of what's going on behind me. If the car tried to get into the middle lane and there was, a situation where it shouldn't be, I'll force it back if I have to. Like, I'm not going to let it be an asshole. But I don't think, the speed limit just dropped to 65 apparently. And I'm sure no one else on the road noticed or cares, right? But the car did. The car noticed. The car is going to. So I'm actually going to push this back up now to standard. Okay, it's going to try to get over because there's a shit ton of cars merging in here. I'm guessing. Nope. Okay, the car did not get over. Okay, interesting. Now, it turns out that that's not a merge after all. All those cars were dumping into a new fourth lane. And I have to wonder, does the vehicle's mapping know that and understand that it doesn't need to get over? Or is it just being an asshole? I don't know. I'm going to push it back into the, oh, this is exit only. That was dumb. Okay, go back. Okay. See, that was me trying to make the car do what I want the car to do. I'll tell you what, let me tell you a story about thinking that I'm smarter than the car when it comes to mapping. I was coming from a doctor's office and I was going to go home, and I put in my home address. Car takes me out of the parking lot, goes right onto the main road, does everything perfectly. Except for I notice that it's trying to put me on the eastbound interstate instead of the westbound interstate, and we should be going west. And I looked at the map routing and it took me eastbound and then to an further down the road and then back onto the interstate westbound. So instead of just going west, it was going east on the main road and then onto an earlier ramp and then west. And I was like, what the hell? That's so stupid. What are you doing? And I took control of the car and I forced it into the lane and then, haha, I'm smarter than the car. So as it would turn out, there was an accident on the interstate westbound that did not affect the express lanes running westbound. But the entrance to the express lanes was not available from this ramp. The entrance was only available from the other ramp a little bit further down. So had I just listened to the vehicle, so to speak, had I just, followed it and let it do its thing, I would have been in the express lanes and I would have just been great. But I didn't. And I thought I was smarter than the computer routing me. And I ended up sitting in traffic for a long time. So that's my story. Then again, it also does dumb crap all the time too. So it's also true.
Downtown. In deep house. Ship.
We are handling this interchange between Interstate 95 and I-4 pretty well. I don't think it needs to be getting over. I think it should be staying in that lane, to be honest. I'm going to probably use my blinker to put it back. So this is actually one of the issues I think I see with the car right now. One of several, but the speed limit was 65 up until right here, and now it's 70. But I mean, everybody on the planet starts going. They treat it like it's 70 from the moment it opens up into the interstate, which is, I think, perfectly reasonable. But the car does not do that. The car's like, it's 65. So I'm going to treat it like it's 65. And then when it gets to 70, it treats it like it's 70. So we're going slower than everyone else. The other thing I don't like is, all right, so in standard mode, watch this. We're going to go 75. Okay? Cool, no problem. I'm going to hit chill and I'm going to feel braking force. My brake lights just came on for a moment because the car was trying to get down to this chill speed as quickly as possible. Right? So that's unnecessary. Right? When I want to go from standard to chill or from hurry to standard or even from hurry to chill, I don't need to feel braking force to get there quickly. I just need the car to slowly ease up to that speed profile. Slowly. I don't even want to feel it. I want it to feel like I've barely let off the gas in a gas car. If it's important enough that I slow down quickly, important enough that I need a braking force applied, whether that's regenerative or actual braking. In that scenario, I'll hit the brake with my foot. I won't just use a dial to slow down the profile. I wouldn't, it's not the appropriate response when you need braking force. So I think that they should update this to slowly ease from one profile into the other without you feeling it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I just use the blinker to make it get out the lane. So that proud half marathoner could go by 13.1, baby. Sorry, I think car magnets are funny, you know? I don't know. What a fun way to express yourself, I guess. I'm curious to see if it's going to try to get over. There's a vehicle on the shoulder, but it's pretty far off the shoulder. Like it's on the grass, which is on the other side of a full shoulder. I don't know if I would have felt the need to get over all the way for that. I mean, maybe if it was easy, but I wouldn't have felt compelled. Now, I kind of want to get over again, but there's this guy that's just been hanging in my blind spot there. I mean, like I can see him, but he's hanging right in there on my fender. He's starting to speed up a little bit now. But I would have liked it, the lady. Let me tell you something. There's something calming about not being super invested in trying to figure out how to get around that clump of cars right there. Because when I'm driving, I see that shit like a maze. Like, how can I get through the maze? And I usually find a way through, but I usually piss people off. So I like that guy's in a hurry, right? That guy's in a hurry. But they're about to get trapped behind that platoon of cars right there, just like everybody else. Look at them. Holy shit. They're just like, wow, 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 wow. They might be racing, but I don't know. I'm just saying, me over here in chill mode in the right lane, it's just funny. It's funny to watch people spend so much energy and fuel trying to jockey your way through. When I guess, when you do the math, depending on how far you're driving, you're really not going to make much time up by doing that. I mean, it's a psychological thing. I mean, I certainly don't do it because I think I'm going to save time. I do it because I'm anxious to get to where I'm going, or I don't like feeling trapped. It might be like a mild form of claustrophobia, and I feel like when I'm trapped within a platoon of cars, I really feel the need that I have to break out of it. All right. I mean, the car went down to 50 instead of instead of going around. Interesting choice, car. No, motherfucker, what are you doing? See, that's stupid. I just sped up from 67 to 70. It flipped to standard and got into the middle lane. Why do we need to get into the middle lane? The right lane was completely fine. That was unnecessary.
Exhale the noise. Music. Chill.
Got a new update ready to install, apparently. What is it? Oh, it's the V12. What does it say? That's about the FSD update. 25, 32, 8, 16. Oh, okay. So rival options. But like, I already have this. Bizarre. Because I already have this update. But oh, maybe because that's I'm reading it wrong, right? Like, yeah, that's the one I'm currently on. There's an update waiting to install though. Like I just saw it up there on the thing. Whatever, I don't care. All right, the car's gonna want to try to get over to the left, but there's a car coming in the left lane. So let's see. This is a tight shoulder too, man. It should definitely be slowing down. All right, I mean it was kind of trapped. It could have slowed down a little more. Um, on the other hand, it also didn't freak out. So that was good, I guess. It just drove right by. I was afraid that as we got close, it was going to realize that that car was stopped and brake hard. But that is not what happened. Is Target open today?
Target stores are closed for Thanksgiving Day, November 27th, 2025. They will reopen at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. Would you like to find their Black Friday deals?
Hello? Hello? I mean, he's only on the phone. Leave a message, I'll get right back.
For a time, it felt like the reflection of the ocean and all stood still in the mirror. What was so heavy became so light, like a feather in the wind, 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 in the wind. And that was new. And all I needed in life was.
Okay, once again, we did not get over to the left with a bunch of virgin cars. But also, once again, it added an additional third. Now there's the third lane. So that's twice that you can't really test the merge theory because there's an extra lane each time, and that could be why it didn't bother getting over. Oh, hey, there's a blimp. You probably can't see the blimp, but there's a blimp. Looks like one of the Goodyear blimps, but it's kind of hard to see because it's cloudy out. What's interesting is I don't know what's over there. Like, based on where we are driving and where we are, that's facing like nothing. Like, it's a like that's not downtown, that's not sports stadiums, nothing. That's like rural. Interesting.
And all I needed in life It's nothing. It felt like reflection, fiction. It always just here. What was so heavy became so light. I'm offended. In the wind, in the wind, in the wind. And that is whatever. The life was. Very.
It just swerved a little bit because it was trying to get over, and then it realized it was a solid line to go under the toll bridge. So it was like, oh crap, I got to get over before that solid line. A little bit dramatic. That was, a really long stop, I feel like, right? And I could have tapped the gas to make it go. I didn't because there was no one behind me. I knew it was going to make it, but imagine if I was the car behind this car and it sat there for that long at the red light to turn right when these guys over here on the left are about to get their green light, and we know that because it's the left turn arrow on the other side anyway. And it just sat there, stopped at the stop sign, kind of looked around. I'd be so annoyed. I'd be like honking my horn probably. But that was weird. The car put its blinker on and then started to merge to the left, and then I guess decided not to. I know this merges down to one lane up here. Okay, so we are going to blinker ahead of time and get over. We're going to go through a little downtown area here. I don't know how many people will be out on Thanksgiving, and it's a little bit drizzly out, so maybe not many. But it's always interesting to see how FSD does in situations with people. I'm hoping it goes straight here and doesn't try to turn right. Because then I would have to take over and make it go straight. All right, we got no blinkers, so that's good. I'm putting us in sloth mode because I do not want to break the speed limit through this downtown area at all. It's going to be like 20 miles an hour. because it is small lanes, lots of stop signs, lots of people crossing. Again, maybe not right now. This truck is like right on my booty. Doesn't look like it from the camera, but it looks like it from the mirror. Honestly, even 20 feels too fast when there's people around, but there's no one around right now. All right, full stop McGee. Yeah, it's pretty deserted. I wouldn't go more than 15 if I was driving through here, but we're not speeding. I don't know where the hell it's going. It just pulled into a random parking lot, but now I'm putting in a destination again, so we'll go to the destination. That's what's interesting, let's do full self-driving. Oh, I applied too much force. Disengaged on accident. When you engage full self-driving and you don't have a destination in your GPS, where does it go, right? Like, I can tell you that if you're at a stop, like a stop sign, or you can use your blinker and it will follow the direction that you set if there's no destination in your GPS. So if you're just on full self-driving with nowhere to go and you're pulling up to a stop sign and you hit left, it will go left. It'll usually pop up a message that says auto lane change unavailable, but it will go left or right or whatever direction you pick. I'm not picking now because we do have a destination in our GPS, and that's where we're going. Oh, look, the buzzard, vulture, whatever birds are having a Thanksgiving feast of a dead wheat. Oh, what? Ew, possum? Gross. I mean, okay, so it thinks we parked. I think we're not very well parked. Like you can see from the diagram, we're kind of at an angle. We're not parallel. Back up here by the mailbox. Overall, I would say successful drive.